and welcome back to That's Entertainment, the weekly entertainment show where we look at all the interesting news from last week, this week. About 7 years ago, I wrote an interesting article called Looking Beyond the Headlights, the Next 10 Years in Entertainment. And one of the key features that I pointed out in there was the rise of the new studios and the fact that content will be coming from a variety of different players outside of the big six studios and the multiple independents. And that, with this bit of news, seems to be coming into effect this week. We're taking a look at how Netflix are looking to build bridges with their traditionally more wary and cynical counterparts in cinema exhibition. There are many positive reactions to the recent announcements by Netflix that Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, will be getting a significant theatrical release ahead of its debut on the streamer just in time for Christmas on December 23rd. The film is the first of two sequels that Netflix paid an astonishing $450 million for back in March 2021. That followed the huge theatrical success of the original Knives Out, which took over $300 million globally. The new film sees the return of director Rian Johnson and leading man Daniel Craig as the private detective Benoit Blanc, undertaking a new murder investigation after an eccentric mystery writer is murdered and his money-grabbing family finds itself under suspicion. Set in Greece, the all-star ensemble cast includes Edward Norton, Janelle Monáe, Kate Hudson, Dave Bautista, and Catherine Hahn. According to Screen Daily, Glass Onion is to get a one-week theatrical run in 600 US cinemas, as well as select cinemas in other territories, a month before its streaming debut. Netflix, which is describing the November 23-29 run as a sneak preview event, says that this will be the first time one of its films will debut across all three of the biggest US cinema chains. This includes AMC, Regal, and Cinemark. The potential blockbuster will also screen that week in additional select cinemas in the US and internationally, including the UK, Ireland, Italy, Germany, Spain, Israel, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. While putting films in theatres around the world is nothing new for Netflix, the long stretch between theatrical release and streaming service debut does seem new. As Deadline Hollywood noted, though Cinemark was previously screened some Netflix titles, other big US exhibitors have mostly shunned films from the streaming giant because of the short window the company has allowed before the film's streaming debuts. Recently, however, there's been a speculation that Netflix might make more use of the theatrical releasing. Several of the company's award season contenders are being given limited theatrical runs ahead of their streaming launches. The plan for Glass Onion suggests a bigger commitment to the strategy and an increased willingness on the part of the exhibitors to work with Netflix on unconventional release plans. Respected UK film exec Rod Smith's reaction to the news on LinkedIn summed up much of the industry's generally positive reaction. A 7-day theatrical run and a 3-week window before streaming on Netflix. It makes a lot of sense. Theatrical titles stick longer on streaming than those that debut exclusively on the platform. I'm surprised at the brevity of the theatrical run, though. I would have assumed at least 2 weeks and then a 6-week window. Let's see how this performs. It's pretty easy to see why exhibition is getting behind Netflix. Plans for the film's big screen outing, bums on seats. It seems likely that the film will repeat the success of its predecessors in selling cinema tickets at the online and on-site box office and in selling food and drink in the cinema foyer. Good timing. While Q4 has a stronger range of theatrical releases than Q3, there are still significantly fewer studio titles for the cinemas to play than in similar periods pre-COVID. Theatrical window. While shorter than the new norm 45 days, Netflix has introduced a theatrical window previously offered by some of the major studios, i.e. Disney, who released Encanto in cinemas on November 24th last year and debuted the film on Disney Plus on December 24th. But why Netflix has adopted this new release strategy for one of their most high-profile and costly releases? We can think of two possible reasons. One, media coverage. It is still true that giving a film a theatrical release raises a profile amongst the public, with the film itself far more likely to get reviewed on TV, radio, and online, and in the press, if it is seen to have a cinematic opening. Also, a film that boasts a cast as stellar as this usually exploits that by having them undertake a press tour, with junket interviews, TV, radio, and online appearances on multiple programs and outlets. Everyone is eager to speak to the talent, and the public is eager to see the results of that. And as Brian Robbins, CEO of Paramount Pictures, puts it recently, what I know is that movies which are theatrical, that have a big marketing campaign, have a greater impact on streaming than movies that skip the theatrical and go straight to streaming. Number 2, the money. Netflix's troubles have been well covered in recent months, with subscriber numbers plateauing in some of the most developed VOD markets, tougher competition from other SVOD platforms such as Disney Plus and HBO Max, the rapid growth of fast TV channels and ad-funded VOD offerings, staff layoffs, and their adoption of a cheaper ad-funded service for consumers from next month. Can Netflix really afford to turn its back on the possible tens of millions of additional revenue that even a limited one-week theatrical release can offer? And I think this is a very valuable question that we all need to be looking at with great detail over the coming months. That's all for this week. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, we do publish both to LinkedIn and to YouTube. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section below. That's all for this week. Thanks very much. Goodbye.